Mary Beth with Thorngren Studio Arts, continuing our fall series. Today's image, still fall, but I want to introduce a little of the Thanksgiving theme. Thanksgiving is coming up, and I want to introduce some images that I feel thankful for, as I'm surely you can agree with me that the sunsets in the last couple of days have just been gorgeous. This particular image was given to me by a friend on Facebook. I put a call out for your best images in fall, and this is the one I chose. Her name's Larissa, and she took this photo of this gorgeous sunset, and the clouds are just magnificent. So let's get started. As always, 8x10 canvas. I've gone ahead and just kind of did a light wash of the whole sky area, which was some titanium white, ultramarine blue, and a tad bit of Mars black, just to get that gray fading of the blue sky. It's getting ready to be nighttime. You'll notice that the way she composed her photograph, she's concentrated more on the sky. When you take a picture or you're doing a landscape, you want to make sure that you don't put the horizon line straight in the middle. That's giving you two equal spaces, makes for a very stagnant and boring composition. So this one is, we're focusing on the beauty of these clouds that have this purpley blue, and this is going to be quite simple. We're going to save the trees for last, which will require a very thin brush, not of a lot of detailing, but this particular painting this time will go rather quickly. So I'll let you go ahead and get that first initial wash on there and catch up with me. I'm going to take a medium-sized brush and just go ahead and finish the coverage doing the foreground, which is a dark, kind of a sap green is what I call it. It's more of an emerald, a dark green, tad bit of water. Get that nice pudding mixture, nice good flow going as I pull out. I'm just going to do what we call the basic local color, which is green. And notice that I'm painting the horizontally, just as the landscape goes. And in a landscape, as you will remember, we have foreground, middle ground, and background. I'm going to, since I've got my initial washes down, I'm going to start with the background and move forward. I'm going to put this aside, this brush, and grab another fairly medium-sized brush and start in on my clouds. So, cadmium yellow, pulling out. A little bit of cadmium orange. This painting is going to require your mixing, blending skills. I'm just going to piece in where I see these colors very quickly, close to the horizon. I'm leaving this space because this is the way back in the distance. There's kind of a silhouette of the trees and landscape further back, but I want to make sure I get my clouds just right before I start in on those pieces. Grab a little more yellow, not even cleaning my brush. You'll notice it's more yellow towards the horizon. pull off my paper towel. Now I have some alizarin crimson. Pull that out. Ultramarine blue. Mix those for my purple. I do see some darker purple clouds. Just going to kind of piece in. And you can see that it's kind of darker at the bottom of the cloud. I'm just going to piece those in. Dab, dab, dab. Just little dabs. Working quickly. Very quickly. This is wet on wet that we are all so familiar with. Okay, I'm going to clean off my brush and add some white to that purple mixture, pulling that out. Water. Going in on top, coming in on bottom, not blending, I'm just plopping it down, then I'm going to go back in and soften that all up. Pull that off so I can get some of my blending going. I'm just going to notice how I'm just kind of scrubbing. I've got my brush turned on the side. I'm not mixing all that purple up into that, I mean the darks into the light, just ever so carefully. Take a little alizarin crimson into this orange and see if I can get some of these bright orangey pieces that are in there as well. And these clouds, dabbing, dabbing as I go. Softening it up just lightly. These airiness of these clouds. Be careful not to blend too much. You could get yourself in a big muddy mess. I'm right on the edge of it. It could happen if I blend too much, just very sparingly. And I have to pull off all the paint on my brush ever so often. Okay, so now I can place in that distant landscape in the back, way back there, and I'm going to go into this dark green with the ultramarine blue and a tad bit of black. Now into my foreground, I'm going to get some of this cadmium yellow back into that green, so I have a little lighter in the foreground. So as things recede back into the landscape, They get darker, not as intense, so that's why I'm trying to really amp this up in the foreground to make this have the illusion that you're going back in space. And I'm also leaving my brush work. As things go back, you don't see as much texture. They get soft, it gets softer. So with that in mind, I'm gonna kind of maybe darken up that back. Just a tad. Not as dark as that piece right there, but and help give that illusion of going back in space. Okay, this is going so quickly. I am actually ready. What is this, like a 10-minute painting? Go! I've got my thin brush, and I'm going to start with these trees. I'll start with this side here, and let's do this purple mixture, which was alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue. I'm going to add a little black to that. These are all just little dabs. If we were outside in this nice meadow, this is exactly how we'd be painting it. Very quick, wet on wet. My background is still quite wet, so I'm not able to achieve the darkness that I really would like to be getting with these trees. So that might have to happen off camera. But I'm guessing you get the gist of what I'm doing. So once I get this tree line all in, you will, as always, receive this image. There are some things in the foreground. There's a little bush and looks like part of a fence. I'm just gonna forego that and just really concentrate, have the viewer concentrate on this part for my focal. So I'm not even gonna include that. Okay. So I will post the finish after I finish this tree line and giving my background a little bit of time to dry so I can get a better coverage of my trees. Very small brush, I might even have to go smaller. And take your time. You don't have to draw every leaf. Don't think of them as leaves, just look at the shapes and get that in. This tree line is in front of that strip that we put, hopefully you'll have some fun with this and give you kind of an idea how quick and easy you can do a landscape. Just break it into parts, background, middle ground, foreground. Very intense, very textured. Show your paintbrush, your brush work. Fade it out to the back. You may want to come in with a clean brush and just really soften up the some of these hard edges to where they just really are just looking like they're fading away into the distance. And that will help. Okay. I hope you have fun with this one. It's very quick and easy. You may want to do a couple. look outside the window. These hopefully we'll have some more beautiful sunsets like these as we go into the dark days of winter. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. I miss you and hopefully to see you soon in the future. But I'll see you next week for sure. Thank you.